Welcome to Adaptation, the book to movie podcast. I'm Nate.
And I'm Chris.
And today we've got a doozy, another doozy. We are talking about Thomas Harris's, correct? The
Correct.
Silence of the Lambs and its film adaptation by Jonathan Demme. And real spooky stuff, obviously. I don't know if we really need a content warning up front because it's so famous, but proceed with caution, I suppose. But before we talk about all that messed up stuff, how you doing, Chris?
Yeah, I am wonderful. What about you? How are you?
I'm doing well. What have you been reading?
Yes, I just finished oh gosh, I thought I had it by so I could show you. Nuts. You were there when I purchased it in Omaha.
Yeah.
This was the second. I told you about the first one. Oh my gosh, that I've forgotten entirely. Holy crap, doesn't matter. That was weeks ago. Called Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil.
Oh, I do remember you picking it up and talking to the owner about it.
Yeah, I had never heard of that title. I think this was the third or fourth book by Victoria Schwab, V.E. Schwab, that I've read. And they just had a signed copy, and I was like, her writing is fantastic. I love finding a signed copy. I'm buying it. Incredible book.
Yeah.
Literally exactly as good as that lady presented it. I'm not going to spoil any because it's a cool tale and a relatively recent. Honestly, any of her writing you can get your hands on if you're even vaguely into not even high fantasy. It's really, I think she wrote Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think that's probably one of her most famous.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
It's like it's very, very bound in reality and then just some slight twists, but combined with phenomenal writing, characters that you fall in love with. It's just incredible. I read like 100 pages. I just took the 2 train literally from its end home. I was on the subway for 4 hours today and just powered through like the last 200 pages and loved it. It was glorious.
Good. Great.
What about you? Been watching stuff?
I've been watching stuff, but I've been reading stuff too. Have you seen my Goodreads updates? Yeah, I'm trying to well, maybe I didn't do it. Let me check.
Who taught you to read?
I don't even know who taught me to read. I don't even know how to use this app, so it's probably not on here. How do you look at your own page?
That's down at the bottom. It'll say My Books. Oh. That is, Nate, that's exactly how I feel every time I open Letterboxd. So I understand your pain.
I know. I don't check this app frequently enough. But I read a book called Silver Nitrate by Silvia Moreno Garcia.
Oh, I did see that on there.
Who did Mexican Gothic, I believe is her big one.
Yes.
A friend of mine, Amber, who I was hoping would be able to be on this podcast because she's a huge Silence of the Lambs fan, is a big fan of, I think, Silvia Moreno Garcia, but particularly Mexican Gothic. She lent me that book because it's about people that work in the film industry.
Oh, cool.
So kind of cool. And now I'm reading a play by Melvin Van Peebles, bit by bit. That's actually really fun. And I might have to bring it to let you borrow it because it's really goofy and I love it.
You be careful. You start reading enough, you're going to collapse the premise of this podcast.
I know, but look, if there's a movie version, I will always prefer the movie. Maybe not always, but that's what I'll reach for first. But as far as movies that I've seen, just a couple, because I've been doing a lot of Odyssey rewatches and the Invite rewatches because I love them both so much. I saw a movie called I Want Your Sex. Have you seen ads for this? Olivia Wilde is a dominatrix.
What?
Lady.
Sounds
Chris
awesome.
Immediately Googling. There were a lot of like teenage boy dreams come true on screen in that movie. It was pretty funny, pretty interesting.
Charlie XCX was in it?
Oh, actually she was a little bit. It's a really small.
And Johnny Knoxville?
Role. I wondered if that was Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
What is this?
It is bizarre. The guy that makes that movie, Greg Araki, is wacky dude. Wow, I can't believe that was actually Johnny Knoxville. That's rocking my world a little bit. Anyway,
he's using Jackass 4.5 as a catapult to a new career.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you watch that? You said you watched that, right?
I watched the latest Jackass movie. Yeah.
I watched it last week. It was
Oh, did
exactly
you?
as fun as I hoped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silly and nasty, really gross, but
Yeah, super gross.
a
Very,
lot
very
of
gross.
a lot of poop stuff in that one. But the other movie I saw was Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and I'm really happy to report that I loved it. Thought it was really, really good.
Wow.
Yeah, good, really good movie.
Are you, I don't know that we've ever discussed that in depth. Are you a Spider-Man franchise guy?
Sure. I mean, I think I probably like him more than I don't know any other superhero. I
Okay.
guess.
That was the lukewarmest.
Well, like I don't consider like I'm not like a Spider-Man truther or anything like that, but I am
Okay.
like I was excited for this one even though I don't like most of the Marvel movies coming out right
Okay.
now. Like Spider-Man usually does it for me. I like Tom Holland and of course I love Zendaya, so
Of course.
not a lot to complain about. But on top of that, I thought the movie was really good and fun.
Okay.
So,
That's
yeah.
good to know because I've been thinking about since we started the drama and didn't finish it. Blair suggested it's like Zendaya alternative. I don't know why Spider-Man came up, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, we're
Well,
thinking about it.
yeah, it's a good one. It even got me teared up a few times. Yeah, it's good.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's like fucked up Spider-Man. It's sad.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know
Yeah,
nothing about it.
he's having a really hard time, and it makes me sad.
I don't think I've seen a Spider-Man since Willem Dafoe was the Grinch, not the Grinch, Green guy, Green Goblin. Oh my gosh, it's in the name. Since Willem Dafoe was the Green Goblin.
The Grinch. Oh my god, that's incredible. That might be your best
That's a,
pull quote. Yeah.
that's that's not even a lack of movie literacy. That was just my brain thought big green man. And logically,
I mean, I guess I see the visual comparison, but that's about it. Anyway, that's the whole episode. Thanks for
that's it.
tuning
See you next week when we talk about more or nothing.
in. Anyway,
Would you like to hear about the book, The
I
Silence
would.
of the Lambs?
I would.
Yes, you
Yes,
would?
please. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Okay. I feel like I'm saying this a lot. At a certain point, it's no longer a new direction. It's just the direction I'm going. I'm for anticipation of time it will take for us to discuss the meaty, oh, yucky, dense, say dense and not meaty content.
Yeah.
I am not going super far into the author himself. Okay.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Okay. As you said, Thomas Harris published the book Silence of the Lambs in 1988. I want to know if you hear the same questions that I do about this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is kind of twofold. One, I immediately hear surprise that this was a book. Everybody knows the movie. Everybody knows the movie.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I hear a lot of surprise that it was based on the book. And then, even amongst those who are aware of this, that it's a sequel.
Yeah. That one surprised me. I bet you in the 80s and 90s, everyone knew it was a book. But I do nowadays sort of hear people be surprised about that. But everybody is surprised that it's I believe it's the second in the series, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Red Dragon and then Silence of the Have you seen Red Dragon?
I have seen an adaptation of it, not the Anthony Hopkins one that was produced as a sequel, prequel to this one.
Oh, did you see the one? I think isn't Ray Fiennes the big crazy guy?
Uh, what big crazy guy? Hannibal Lecter? Oh, the
No, the
guy
one
that
with the
is committing
dragon
crimes.
tattoo.
I believe he is, but the one I watched is a little bit older
Oh,
and obviously had a different cast entirely.
okay,
But
okay,
I
okay.
do
I didn't know
believe
there
Ray
were.
Fiennes is in the. Did Brett Ratner do that one or somebody, some creepo like that?
I feel it's abundantly clear that I don't know the answer to that
I
question.
know. I think I'm talking to myself a little bit here. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah,
Well,
sequel
I
and
want
based on the
to.
book.
I wanted this to be my first discussion question, but obviously we're not going to spend a lot of time on Red Dragon, so I could not help putting a question right at the top here.
Okay.
Why is Silence of the Lambs so much more known than Red Dragon? Why is this sequel exploded and so many people don't even know it's a sequel?
My theory, I have not. Have you read Red Dragon?
I have not. I've seen it. I've not read it.
My theory, based on the movie that I've seen, having read neither of the books, I think that Red Dragon is a little more convoluted and almost plays as a little bit more of a standard procedural in some ways because the cop
Okay.
has a pre-existing relationship with Hannibal Lecter, right? It's the same
Okay.
cop that locked him up. And so I think that I don't know, it just felt very bizarre to me. Like following Clarice Starling allows you to learn about Hannibal Lecter alongside her. And so I think it
Yes.
makes for sort of a better story than getting dropped into what is already part two, sort of, you know, the Chronicle of Hannibal Lecter, I guess.
Just kill. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll buy that. It definitely was. Well, I mean, one may argue virtually all thriller, serial killer movies along this vein are more straightforward. This is quite unique.
Yeah.
And this was fascinating to hear. I don't know if you've heard this backstory yet. I found there was a little information about sort of what made this so unique. Okay.
Okay.
So Thomas Harris was a reporter working in Texas, I believe. And he was asked, I think by a magazine, to go down to Monterrey, Mexico to interview Dykes Askew Simmons. You ever heard of him?
Oh, no. I thought you were saying a word you weren't supposed to say. No, I have not
Nope,
heard of.
that's his given first name. Also, that would have been a crazy sentence.
That's why it took me by surprise. You can rewind the tape to see me jump out of my
Yeah,
skin.
no, this his words, not mine. No, an individual named that was his first name,
Yeah.
Dykes Askew Simmons. The book copy that I got had a 25th anniversary introduction by Harris talking about this happening, and so he
Okay.
goes down there, and it's actually very mirrored in a lot of ways. Like this is a book about a serial killer, right?
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill.
Hmm.
And it's also entirely not a book about that serial killer,
Right.
right? And like therein lies the brilliance.
Yeah.
So he talks about this interview, and intentionally or not, I mean, this was a very straightforward sort of author's note anniversary introduction. So I want to say it almost wasn't deliberate, but it's basically the exact same situation. He's hired to go down there and interview this guy, and he describes it very well. It's very off-putting. The guy like wears sunglasses for the entire interview,
Ugh.
and he's leaving, and he's talking to like the prison doctor, and the doctor's kind of dissect dissecting this interaction they had and tells him, oh, make sure you don't wear sunglasses because he'll be able to see his reflection, and he really doesn't like how he looks. He had like a facial disfigurement, I think. And he's
Okay.
Harris now is walking away from this discussion with the doctor, really intrigued and weirded out. Two feelings you feel often throughout this book he wrote.
Always. Yeah.
And one of the guards goes, hey, you were talking to that guy. He refers to him in this retelling as Dr. Salazar, and he specifies later that the guy was released and went back to some remote village, like to go serve the poor for free or something. So he deliberately changed his name to leave him alone. But the
Okay.
guard was like, oh, yeah, that's just another inmate. That guy's insane.
Oh.
And so you see the puzzle pieces,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Totally.
Oh, it gave this tale that, again, as we've alluded to, everybody knows,
Yeah.
a completely new life for me.
Yeah.
And so
That's
both,
wacky.
isn't that great? I mean,
Yeah.
just this wild story, and the guy goes, I'm going to use this and write, I think, inarguably one of the most well-known titles of the 20th century.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Everybody knows what this was.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure you're going to talk about Anthony Hopkins' brilliance and everything like that, but like everyone knows this. And part of it is that writing was so unique, so a story about a person, but not about a person, but also not not about that, but I mean, we learn as much about Starling as I just incredible.
Yeah, good.
On that note, how much do we need to go into the plot? I feel like we can kind of we all know what happens in this story.
Yeah, I would say that I believe she's an FBI trainee,
Correct?
consults with Hannibal Lecter because he is imprisoned, and basically the only person smart enough to help her track down the serial killer called Buffalo Bill.
Yes, and they I mean it's never quite revealed. I do think, as I often if not always think, Forrest Gump aside of course, that the book is able to put the pieces together more eloquently than the movie,
Sure. Yeah.
because you don't have that visual component.
Yeah.
She more or less stumbles into this. She's a trainee.
Oh.
Crawford asks her to go down. They're trying to map out sort of the mind of the serial killer. And they've interviewed like 33 or something who are incarcerated. And the 34th, the elusive one who won't answer their questions, is Lecter. And he basically more or less says, we know he's going to refuse you as well. We just have to essentially be able to put on the paperwork that we tried.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie in ages. I don't remember if this was part of the movie. The absolute dick face, the guy running the ward where Lecter is kept.
Oh,
Chilton?
yeah.
Is that correct? Chilton?
Let me look.
Shifton?
I know who
wrote
you're
it down.
talking about.
Yes, Chilton.
Chilton. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, Chilton. This is the part I don't remember if it's in the book or not, or in the movie. It was so good in the book. Chilton attempted to give Lecter the questionnaire himself, and Lecter not only doesn't answer the questions, but turns around, and in the book he's very known for continuing to write and submit articles to scholarly journals and continue to be published while incarcerated.
While in jail.
Is that similar? Do they skate over that?
Yeah, that's not a part of the movie. I forget exactly why Clarice is brought in, but it's something similar where it's like we've tried a lot of people and she's kind of our last option. It might have something to do with her being one of the only women training at Quantico. I forget the exact detail, but it's not like the book.
Yeah, that's what Chilton accuses her of. They brought in, essentially this cute girl to get him to talk. And that is not at all the case. Crawford asks her basically because she's a trainee, so she's available, and he doesn't have anyone else who could go.
That might be what it is, yeah, in the movie.
And it's great for a book. I could see it not being awesome on film, but Chilton tried to do this previously, and Lecter turns it around and then publishes an article about how incompetent this guy is and just undermines him. And we find out much later in the story when he's talking to Clarice and he's like, you should check into it. Chilton actually doesn't have any medical degrees. He's just been lying about this.
That guy sucks.
So good. Yeah, no, we all know everything that happened. What I created is more so, what I titled it is, in all caps, some parts that stuck with, surprised, or frustrated me.
Oh, okay. Great.
Okay. Because again, I think the plot, they're trying to find this guy. Lecter's feeding her breadcrumbs. I'm not sure the entire cause of this, but if I remember correctly, I think this is clear in the movie as well. You are immediately wary and off-put by his interest in Clarice, but it's not entirely clear why.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly how it is.
Besides him, the guy in the what was his name? The guy in the cell next to him first says, "I can smell your cunt," as she walks in.
Yeah.
And then jerks off and throws it at her as she tries to leave.
Yeah.
Which Lecter takes offense at and convinces him to kill himself.
That's right.
And there's just this immediate off-putting sense where you're like, why are you so intrigued? She has to trade these bits of info about her past.
Right.
to get, I mean, so unsettling. And that's not even the weird dude wearing people's skin as clothes.
No,
Like, just brilliant.
I know.
And so many of these things, I think what I kept thinking about that was remarkable was so many of these literary devices, just the way this plot is put together, it could become so corny, so derivative so quickly. And it doesn't,
Right.
right?
Right.
You're just
100%.
in.
Yeah.
And not in the way I wrote this down later too. It's not in the same way like Jurassic Park, you were also on edge the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, tell me if you got a different feeling. I think the difference is Jurassic Park, you know why you're on edge. I would also be on edge if a literal T Rex was chasing me.
Yeah. Right.
And I suppose I would also be on edge if someone asked me to talk to a serial killer, but it's more of an undercurrent in this
Yeah.
case.
It's like atmospheric instead of, tangible.
Yes, yes, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, just brilliant, just brilliant. Some thoughts that I had. Uh, oh, so she goes in. The orderly is there, who's like super chill throughout the whole thing. I don't know if this is the same in the movie. When she goes the first time, the orderly is sitting there reading Sense and Sensibility.
Oh, if that's in the movie, I didn't catch it. That's
Okay,
crazy. But I
which
will
we're going to
say
discuss later.
that character always, yeah, we are going to talk about that one later this year. That character, he's got one or two lines where he's basically telling her to watch your sex or whatever. He's so happy and like jovial. I'm always like, what is going on with this guy? 'Cause he's
Oh,
not like he's likes being around creepy people. He's just like very warm and cuddly for someone in his job.
uh huh.
I notice that every time I watch the movie.
He's certainly like the character you're most on board with. I mean, obviously no problems with Crawford or Starling, but
Right.
yeah, such a such a cool,
That is
very
funny.
side character.
Yeah.
Obviously, every part about Buffalo Bill is wild and disturbing,
Yeah.
but for some reason, even in book form, Lecter's description, just so nonchalant, he wants a vest with tits on it, was very jarring.
Yeah.
Does
That's
he? I have no
that's a
idea if
lot.
he says that in the movie. Yeah,
I
and
don't
you know it's coming, and you
Yeah,
know it's true, and it's still jarring.
I know. I don't believe they say that, but so much of what Hannibal Lecter says about Buffalo Bill is so unsettling that it's I think your body almost kind of shuts out some of the detail because
Yes,
it doesn't want to hear it, you
yes.
know?
Well, it's this abs unsettling is the only word I can come up with. Also, this absolutely unsettling mix of, I want to say, admiration,
For who?
certainly from Lecter for Buffalo Bill.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Certainly, this like kudos lauding what he's doing,
Hmm.
like a little bit of a neutral third party observer just eating their popcorn and watching everything burn. I
Yeah,
mean, a a poignant, a well written, well executed, and absolutely horrific mix.
yeah, yeah.
The system itself, incredibly frustrating to me, and I don't recall feeling this way from the movie, but the book, it's just right in your face and so annoying.
The system?
From like Chilton trying to stop her from coming in, really having to circumnavigate stuff, just everything Starling and Crawford have to do when their entire goal is to stop a serial killer.
Yeah. Is
And they're just getting stopped at one
Wow,
turn
that's
after
weird.
another.
Yeah, that's not how the movie is at all.
Okay, I was curious. I don't remember it from the movie. Yeah, in the book, it's right in your face. I mean, Chilton running this ward is, he feels like slighted by Lecter, undermined that they sent in this trainee, not even a full agent, rebuffed because of course he tries to hit on her.
Yeah,
He's just like the face of toxic masculinity
right.
before we had that word in the
Yeah,
zeitgeist,
yeah,
and like messes everything. He's literally just scheming for power, which results in a serial killer being let loose.
Right. Yeah,
Just a
Chilton's he's not huge in the movie at all.
okay, okay,
So a lot of that is not present. But he is a
okay,
well little he is in the movie, he's a slime ball.
okay. So it comes across anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I mean that again, for me in these tales, I'm like, this is a B plot, and it's still
Right.
annoying me. Like, why am I so upset?
Yeah.
The title of the book,
Yeah.
so fascinating.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you brought this up.
Do they go like full bore? Again, I saw the movie so long ago, I could just not be remembering. But do they go full bore into her personal history while she's talking to Lecter and dig into this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about full bore, but we do get the story from her childhood about lambs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Living on a God, they had a word for a slaughter farm, retired
Right.
animals being
Yeah.
turned to glue. And she hears all of the lambs going crazy because they're being slaughtered. And that's when she realizes, oh, they're going to kill this horse I love. So she sneaks away with it. And I mean, I have to imagine they left this in. Lecter asks her, do you think the lambs will be silent if you catch Buffalo Bill? Because it's sort of this recurring thought for her. She can't get that scene out of her head.
Right.
And all I could think when he asked that, and I don't know if this was the author's intended implication, but is this like, does he relate so intimately to Starling? Does he want to hear all this backstory of her because he is also somewhere in this person who eats other persons, trying to find what will make the lambs be silent for him?
I think yeah, that's been my reading. When you said that
Okay.
it's not very clear why he sort of picks on Clarice like he does, my read has always been that he could spot like another traumatized person from a mile
Mm,
away. So when she walked in, he knew that he had her on the line, you know,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
just drug it out because he likes to play games.
Yes, yes, and that was, that's a through line throughout, and fantastic, morbidly fantastic, but fantastic nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that I mean that one line, it's so abundantly clear why it's
Yeah.
the name,
Agreed.
right?
Yep.
And then I know that the movie ends wildly differently, but in the book,
Oh,
this is just a letter that he sends her after he's gone on the run. Um, and he says, I have no intention to visit you. He's like tied up a couple of loose ends. So her and Crawford are super worried that he's going to come back for him. And he sends her a letter and says, I have no intention to visit you. He's gone like to St. Louis, somewhere in the Midwest, like to get plastic surgery and change himself and get a passport and leave the country.
oh, okay.
And he sends this to her and he says, will you let me know if the lambs ever stop screaming? So good. So
Creepy.
good. And honestly, maybe a hot take. I think it's better than the movie ending, but that's
Wow.
no one's asking me. It feels like it's really it sounds on paper. The book was on paper. It sounds like it should be a less satisfying ending. But because throughout you cannot help, and I think this is perhaps part of the appeal to this absolutely off the wall movie, you very much develop empathy for him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so this kind of handshake, yeah, they were idiots. You told them, don't move me to Tennessee. They did.
Mm-hmm.
I got out.
Yep.
I'm not going to come kill you. Like, shake hands. Almost certainly going to go keep eating people, but like, I don't know, I'll do it in Spain. Like, can we be chill? Yeah, it's wild. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
And then clearly still itching him, which is on its surface and well below the surface, this immediate juxtaposition to the character that we've come to know. So brilliant, smartest person in the room. No one can get him. And this is the tiniest sniff of a vulnerability that he's revealed only to her.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
It is narratively, it is really smart.
Yes, yes, yes. This one is really more just a question for you. I don't remember at all how much the details with Crawford and his wife are in the movie. Does that play a central role?
No, I don't know anything
Okay.
about that
Okay.
lady.
Okay. Throughout the book, his wife is dying. She essentially is in hospice, but at their home, and so that's this. They're very much this added sense of strain and stress on
Mhm.
him, trying to be like the field handler for this trainee that he sent out and shouldn't have.
Yeah,
It just cranks up the drama for
yeah,
the book.
clever. Yeah,
I could see why they would omit it from the movie, so that's not in the movie at all.
yeah. No, I don't think he even
Okay.
mentions it. A wife.
Okay. Interesting. James Gum. That's
I know.
okay. That's all I wrote. What?
Yeah, silly name.
Oh, the hospital left the S off James,
Yeah.
and now he kills people and wears their skin.
Well, we all have bad days.
Yeah, I'm gonna argue I might too if my name was James Gum.
Gumb with a B.
That was upsetting.
I know. I had to,
I
I
hated
watch
that.
with subtitles,
Uh
right?
huh.
So I had to pause it and go and look on the book's Wikipedia page to make sure that it was actually spelled that way because I was like, that is stupid.
So dumb. So dumb. I don't. I as I often say, maybe I'm just too dense, but that part I did not understand
Yeah,
what this added to the plot besides you being like, wow, that guy sucks. Like
right.
before he kills people. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just wild. Okay. My last one here. It's very, very subtle. This is perhaps the silliest one that I could point out, or maybe the most profound. We'll see how it comes out.
Oh, okay.
So he again, Chilton is just trying to gain like political leverage to climb, I don't know, the corporate ladder. I don't know how
I
that works.
guess. Yeah.
He overhears Starling trying to offer Lecter a deal for information to get him out. Reveals to Lecter that she has no authority, has no deal, offers him a different deal, busts him out, gets him to this cell in Tennessee where they do not have the correct security procedures. And they give him like good food, and he's always like the music requests. There's always sort of this implication throughout that he's this, I don't know, high society socialite in
Right.
captivity,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And so he's offered the option for what music he wants, and he asks very specifically for Glenn Gould's recording of the Goldberg Variations.
Okay.
This is extraordinarily upsetting because I love that album and I listen to it probably once a month.
So you're a little embarrassed about sharing something with Hannibal Lecter?
With Hannibal Lecter, yes, in fact, I am incredibly embarrassed.
It means that you've
But
got great taste, is what it means.
okay, cool. So I would also like human liver and
Well,
Chianti.
okay.
What's the line?
Not literal taste.
You said it.
I did say it. I did.
But I think, and maybe I'm reading way too far into it, but here is my analysis of why Harris chose that exact recording,
Okay.
or along these lines. So I'm going to argue it was deliberate, maybe not. I think it's supposed to be this glimpse into his mind. So in case you're unfamiliar, which given your first reaction, I believe you may be.
Yes.
Okay, Glenn Gould, absolute piano master. And he
Okay.
was known, you need to look up one of these pictures. He was known for sitting at these comically tiny piano benches when he's
Okay.
playing. And almost like trying to become a part of the instrument. And these
Oh.
extraordinarily complex, famous for having all of these Bach fugues. Do you know what a fugue is?
I think I learned it a long time ago, but I need a reminder.
So, I mean, I would not expect you to. A part will play, and then that part will keep going, and the original melody, the motif, will be repeated in another voice.
Oh,
And
okay.
Bach wrote these insanely complex 4-part fugues, and Gould famously had all of these things memorized, never any sheet music there, including
Yeah.
the Goldberg Variations. And he's sitting there on this hilariously tiny bench right in the keyboard, in the piano.
Yeah.
And these recordings were famous because he was so into the music. He'd be playing, and you can hear him moaning along
Oh,
on the recording. And like literally anyone else, the producer would be like, yo, dude, we're taking another crack at that. Stop
right,
moaning.
right.
I think he physically could not. And he was so brilliant. These were published with it in. He'll be playing, and you can hear him. Da, 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 and he's going,
Oh,
because that's how wrapped in it he is.
yeah.
And I think that's exactly why this was the choice that they gave.
I bet you're right.
These facets where Lecter was so obsessed and engrossed, but with this magnificent, beautiful thing, you know?
Yeah,
Oh, I just went, I stopped. I had to put
yeah.
it down. When I read that line, I was like, oh no.
Wow, that's a good find, though. That's really clever.
Oh, they're just spectacular. And again, it was these hints just enough that I was like, is this like low key one of the best authors I've ever read? And I mean, I had never heard of Thomas Harris before reading this.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
It definitely makes me want to dive into more of his material because
Yeah.
it's
No
just,
kidding.
that's such a throwaway, right? That recording
Right.
could have been anything.
Yeah.
And, for all I know, he heard it on the radio that morning and just needed a title to put in.
Yeah.
But
That's true, I guess.
there was so much power
Right.
in that one statement.
Yeah.
So there are my whimsical musings on the oddities, upturns, downturns in this radically insane book.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you for those very fun highlights. We are going to take a quick break and then we will dive into the movie. Welcome back to Adaptation, the Book to Movie podcast. Chris just gave us his list of both grievances and what would you call the opposite of a grievance? Like I don't know, congratulations for this Thomas Harris's book.
Things that surprised or frustrated me, so I don't think I have a good source entry for you here. What is the opposite of a grievance? Praise?
Yeah, kind of.
I guess. Sure.
Yeah, so now we're going to dive into the film, which was, of course, as Chris kind of alluded to, I think probably has outgrown its source material in terms of public awareness.
Undoubtedly so.
Yeah. It was released in 1991. I feel silly going through this list because it's so famous, but bear with me here. Stars Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins. Directed by Jonathan Demme, who we've actually talked about on this podcast before because he also directed the film adaptation of Beloved.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would not have remembered that. Sorry.
So he is sort of drawn to these sort of messy stories, and they're not all horror or even dramas. The movie right before this that he did was Married to the Mob, which is a comedy starring Michelle Pfeiffer, and he tried really hard to get her to star in this movie. But she, like most of the other people that were approached to star in it, felt too spooked, sort of.
I don't know if that was coming through on the recording.
It did a little bit, actually.
Okay.
But she and most of the other people that were approached were kind of too spooked by the subject material. Because cannibalism is pretty prominently featured in this, not just because a character is a cannibal, but he does attack people in the movie. So it's a little different. You don't see that in at least the adaptation of Red Dragon that I'd seen. So I can see how this felt a lot creepier and a lot more uneasy for people that were trying to decide how they wanted the public to see them going forward.
Yep.
But the people that did end up in the movie, particularly Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, did so after reading the book because the script was not, or they agreed to be in the movie after reading the book because the script was not quite finished yet. And that leads me to believe that you're right about all of these little details that really make this sort of a masterpiece story, right? Like this Glenn Gould recording that you just mentioned.
You didn't find any info? I mean, that's such a fast turnaround from 88 to 91, you said, right?
Yeah, I believe who somebody was a fan. It might have been Jonathan Demme was a fan of these books and was just
Okay.
pounding the pavement to get it made.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it really aligns with his body of work. So I can see this definitely being a book that he would pick up off the shelf. And there was no, the adaptation of Red Dragon that I'd seen is called Manhunter and is a few years older. Oh, barely came out in '86, and it wasn't a huge success at the time. So I can see how you could maybe watch that movie and then read the book and feel like, okay, we've got an opportunity to like try again, basically,
Okay.
and level it up to something more iconic, and it became obviously extremely iconic.
Yes.
The script is known for being whip smart, much like the book. Kind of every single thing that you hear or see is very important to like ultimately solving the crime, catching the serial killer Buffalo Bill. And then it's visual language as well, which I'm going to circle back to later. And then, of course, really probably what it's best known for is its performances from Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins. Both are phenomenal. And Anthony Hopkins, of course, playing Hannibal Lecter, sort of one of the first, serial killers on film that was not portrayed visually and physically as a monster, right? He's like well groomed and obviously well mannered. He's got good taste in food and music. He can hold a conversation really well. He's really smart. Usually, serial killers, think about like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They've got a guy also wearing a
Yep.
skin mask because they're based on the same real life serial killer, actually. But he like looks all melty and nasty, and he chases 6 kids around with a chainsaw, which I mean, it makes for a great movie, but it's not exactly realistic if we're talking about serial killers. So a lot of people were obviously really put off and spooked, but kind of just shaken to their core by the fact that this movie made it look like your neighbor could be Hannibal Lecter, you know?
They are among
And
us.
then, yeah. And then on top of that, Anthony Hopkins was already a pretty prestigious actor at that point, too. And most serial killers and villains, famously, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the woman they got to play the nurse was like their 15th choice because nobody wanted to be seen doing such
Uh,
horrible things on screen.
yep.
It was not popular at this time to play the villain, and that's sort of switched in movies now. So very interesting to see that this is sort of where some of that started.
I mean, those two are absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, and actually, Jodie Foster, I believe, had just won an Oscar before taking this role, and then took it and won her second Oscar, which
Jeez.
doesn't happen a ton that somebody gets back to back or close to back to back awards. So I think that really speaks to how much it resonated, these performances specifically, how much they've elevated the material.
I would watch a whole movie that's just the two of them talking.
Well, there is a lot of that in this one. You could rewatch
Yeah,
Silence of the
yeah,
Lambs.
fair.
The movie has come under fire a few times since its release, particularly by the LGBT community because of the way it depicts gender identity and gender politics, and our understanding of transgender identities has come a lot, uh, or has made a lot of progress, I suppose, since this book was published, even in '88, much less the years before when Harris was probably conceiving these ideas, right? Um, Jonathan Demme's pushed back against some of those a little bit. My personal feeling is that his arguments drift a little bit into like old white guy isn't listening territory. So I think I would just encourage people to kind of do their own research and come away with their own opinions, because I'm not here to tell anybody how to feel about gender politics.
I'm curious if because again, I clearly don't remember, and I don't think it made the movie. I was surprised. I was first not surprised that it was a certainly on the surface, a ham-fisted explanation, the offering we receive, right,
Hmm.
for why Buffalo Bill is killing people,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
That's a gross under explanation of what occurs in the text.
Right.
But I was actually surprised for when it was written. They they ultimately get the info from Lecter anyway, so it's a little bit moot. But initially, they are searching for clinics for people who have come and applied for operations and been declined.
Oh.
And one of the clinics, the guy who runs it, is very specific, saying, "Whoa, you're looking for a murderer? No, I'm not giving you any information. The public already has this perception
Oh.
of trans individuals, and I will not let you vilify this person."
Oh, wow. That's cool. I think that sort of addresses the issue that the movie does not. That's not in the movie, that sequence.
Incredible.
They do say so. Lecter was, I guess, psychologist or shrink or something for
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill. And he
Yep.
does outright state this man thinks he's transgender, but is not. And I think that's issue number one, is that we have to
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
let
Yep.
people identify themselves. And then number two is that like clearly we didn't have an like if he was killing people to put on their skin, he probably was, and that's a pretty extreme reaction to like being not I don't even like to say diagnosed, but being
Well, I
told
felt
that
like
you're not.
and that was like the crux of it, that he had gone in and been declined.
Yeah.
And that was, in the book, that was the FBI's argument. They're saying like, no, we're talking about someone that you yourself already declined
Right.
because he was being weird about it or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, they don't get too much into it,
Interesting.
which is one of the reasons
Mm,
I'm like, there, you could have added just a line or two to kind of recenter this. But again,
yeah.
the book was published in the late 80s, so we like I said, we just have come so far since then.
I thought it would be way worse.
I'm sure certain people feel that it is.
Fair, fair. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, difficult. It's also difficult when you consider that Buffalo Bill is based on a real serial killer from like the 50s or something like that.
He's like Gacy, right?
Ed Gein is his name.
Oh, Ed Gein. Yeah, yeah. Our Wisconsin boy.
So even, we're talking about potential gender confusion even decades before that. And it's really complicated. I just am not educated
Yep.
enough to
Yep.
really pass a judgment on it. But anyway, the film goes on to be an incredible success, right? Both financially and critically. It's one of the few films ever to win the Big Five, quote unquote, Big Five at the Oscars, which is picture, director, screenplay, in this case, adapted screenplay, and then actor and actress for Foster and Hopkins.
In the same year?
Yeah, you're only nominated in the year you're eligible.
How would I know that?
Well, you think Sinners is going to get a bunch of Oscars this year?
Kinda, yeah. Holy crap. So they won 5 Oscars in 1 year?
Yeah.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious. I mean, deserved, of course.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was actually nominated for 2 additional ones, sound and editing. Really well edited movie. Sound, I don't really know what that's about, but whatever. They were throwing a Silence of the Lambs party. So yeah, one of the few to win those Big Five. It's not very common for that to happen. And I believe it's the only horror movie to date to win Best Picture.
I saw that as well.
We thought
That's
we would have
crazy.
a repeat maybe with Sinners actually, but didn't quite pull it off. But obviously this is just existed in the public consciousness. It's like part of our American DNA at this point, probably beyond American, really. So reading some of the sort of criticisms when people revisit it was really interesting. And there's been a lot of talk about how the movie almost doesn't feel as scary anymore because we've been so desensitized to images like that. There was maybe about 10 years or so ago, there was this huge true crime craze, right, where people were just becoming obsessed with any kind of true crime, but especially serial killers, and sort of their personas and methods and stuff started to become very public knowledge. And I've got friends that are really interested in this, and there are psychological reasons for like why it's interesting to some people and not so much to others. I don't know them because I don't like serial killers, so I don't care to know. But
You heard it here first, folks. Nate
yeah,
Day doesn't like serial
yeah, I
killers.
know. Talk about hot take.
Well, we kind of dipped into that pool a little bit with Agatha Christie.
Yeah,
Like,
those are a lot
humans love
cozier
hearing
though.
about folks getting offed.
Yeah, they do. And this movie is actually seen as sort of a turning point in public interest in crime.
Okay.
And I have to imagine that's because you have both the grotesque villain that is Buffalo Bill doing terrible, terrible things, getting caught, right? He ends up like the good guys win,
Yep.
sort of
Yep.
mostly in this movie.
Yep.
And it's also such a well put together crime, like finding the they're
The
not called
moths.
butterflies. Yeah, the moths. Thank you.
Yep. The death's head moth.
Yeah, is such a wild clue, but it's so good, you know.
So good.
And
Oh,
and like I said, it's well edited. It's well paced. You solve the crime as Clarice
yes.
does. So it's I can totally see how this was the one that like hooked people and has kind of gone on to change how we perceive violence and crime. And because you know this movie is shocking and disturbing, but I think when there's also like dramatic reenactments of Ed Gein's crimes on Netflix every other week, I'm like,
Right.
it doesn't seem that crazy, but you have to kind of put yourself in the mindset of 1991.
I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say to you or to someone else, "Hello, Clarice"?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
it
in
dug
there.
its claws in.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I was hoping that my friend Amber would be here for this one. Like I said, she's a big fan, and our crew does PowerPoint nights every once in a while, a couple, maybe 2 times a year, where we all make PowerPoints, and they're usually kind of silly, and we present them to each other. And hers was full of. I should have had her send it to me, like an explanation about why it's a comfort movie for some people, and it has to do with those sort of emotional highs and lows, and the ultimate victory of the I guess the FBI winning, catching Buffalo Bill. Yeah, it would have been a lot of fun to hear what she had to say. But
Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty much all I've got for the movie. Do you want to dive into? Do you have any more discussion questions?
Well, you start because I did throw you one right at the top of the set
Okay.
there, eh?
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to decide what order to do these in. Okay, let me just do this. One of my favorite things about this movie is how much visual language there is in the movie. Things like Jonathan Demme is really known for these close-ups that really let you see every muscle in the face of his actors. And when Chilton is trying to sort of debrief Clarice right before she visits Hannibal Lecter for the first time, I don't know if it's an alarm that goes off or maybe it's just a light signaling that some doors are opening, but it's a red light that goes off and like bathes both of their faces in this red light, so you just immediately understand that like whatever is going to go down is going to be bad because red is bad,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's just
Correct.
one example. This movie is like chock full of well, visual language. Like I said, when the movie speaks to you with things that are not words, is that in the book or like in any capacity, or is that sort of the special touch that Jonathan Demme brought that makes the movie so good?
Oh no, that's what I have to imagine. That's what made someone want to make this a movie.
Oh,
The scene when she finds the head, Raspel,
is that
is
the
that
guy?
correct?
I don't remember
The
what his
first
name is.
body. Yeah, when it's like the first hinty thing that Lecter gives her. He says, check the guy's car. and she
Yeah.
finds the car and it's in this old storage unit and she's there with the lawyer.
Yeah.
That's one of the most tense individual scenes I've ever read in my life.
Really?
The door is jammed,
Yeah.
so she can only get it wedged up with a car jack
Oh, I would
far enough
never
for her to
do
get
that.
under. Has to, even the description, oh, you could, yeah, it felt like you were there. She has to move the boxes. She has the key. Oh, but this door doesn't have a lock. It's only on the front door.
Yeah.
So now she has to move all the boxes behind her. And the whole time you're going, a fucking cannibal told you to come look at this.
Right.
What's going to be in this car? Finally wiggles her way into the front seat, thinks she sees a body. Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's just a mannequin.
Until
But what's on
losing
its shoulders?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why I say it was very akin to Jurassic Park in this sense.
Yeah. Okay.
You are at least a little bit on edge
Yeah.
the whole time.
Okay. Cool.
The whole time. Yeah, brilliantly written. Even seemingly innocuous, like what you said, you are solving it with her.
Yeah.
And so the alternative to that is you start again, exactly what you said. You start reading into every little thing.
Yeah.
You're like, is that a clue? Is that a clue? Oh, she's standing here, but she's going to interview him. She needs to get a chair. And you're like, is that a clue? No, it's a chair.
No, it's
And then it turns out it was a clue.
Yeah.
And Chilton hit a tape recorder under it to undermine her rapport with, like, it was a clue. Crap. Oh, brilliant. Tasty. Just, yes.
Interesting. Good. Okay. Cool. I'm actually going to go again because I wrote some extra ones this time, or an extra one. Is that all right?
Okay. Of course.
This one, we kind of talked about this a little bit. Does it read like a sequel, or did you feel fine picking up book number 2?
Yeah, not at all. I mean, these feel, did you ever watch, I'm sure you've seen Chronicles of Riddick, right?
No.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
What?
I've seen clips of them, yeah.
Very much along the same lines. That's also a sequel
Oh, okay.
of a first movie called Pitch Black, which I get a similar reaction from people that are like, that's a sequel. This was almost in the sense like the Agatha Christie or the Hercule Poirot's.
Yeah.
Those are the same one. Hercule Poirot or Sherlock Holmes.
Sure.
Like they stand alone.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no sense in this one. I don't know. I have not read the first one. Maybe my answer would be different if I had. Like
Right.
you're already introduced to the character. But what I loved about the book, and I did not feel this way, I'll quit saying it, but when I saw the movie, whatever, 20 years ago, you're so culturally attached to Lecter
Yeah.
that you almost go into it. I think, I wish I could remember now. Well, when did you see it the first time?
Not that long ago, actually. Maybe only 5 years, like college.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then no, that's recent enough. Going into it, did you feel like you had a sense of who the main character was?
I thought it was the Hannibal Lecter story. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's called like the Lecter series or whatever. The book very much feels like Starling is the main character.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially since you get this non-omniscient, not entirely first person, because we get those glimpses of Buffalo Bill as well, but for the most part, first person. In the book, it shocked me how much you feel like this is her story and he's just a part of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, the you've seen the Red Dragon movie, so you know that it's similar. A cop is consulting Hannibal Lecter. I was just curious.
Yes.
I don't know if there was anything where you were like, "Wait, what?"
No,
But because he's not the main character, I can see how that.
I think that is really what attributes to it. Yeah, I don't know. I almost wish I had read Red Dragon now to know if it feels like if that is the case and it feels like a continuation. I think that would make the first few chapters of this feel somewhat baffling, because you very much feel like this is the Clarice Starling show.
Oh, okay.
And then Lecter is obviously this looming presence.
Yeah.
But you get to focus so much more on a text.
Yeah.
You know, because it
totally.
takes physical pages to get to that next scene where now we're focused on someone else, or you're walking with her down this weird, creepy hallway to go chat with him, right? Like, No, I don't know if that was deliberate on the author's part, if maybe he sensed that these would be bigger individually than as a series. I don't
Yeah.
know, but you no sense of that. I don't feel like you sense that in the movie.
No, no, I agree.
Okay, give me my discuss and question turn. Oh yeah, I just said asked above. Haha. This is a feeling I had, and I don't know if it was just me. We did kind of end up discussing this a little. Did you find yourself while watching as the audience member oscillating between these feelings of repulsion and I'm hesitant to even say admiration, but sort of morally, emotionally ambiguous about Dr. Lecter, like nearly rooting for him at some time? Did you have
Oh,
those conflicting feelings?
yes. I mean, he's so goddamn smart,
Yes.
and you're just having so much fun playing this sort of cat and mouse game that
Yes.
he and Clarice are playing. That it is sort of you're kind of excited to see him when he comes on screen, and then he does what he does about
Yes.
halfway through the movie, and you're like, never mind, never mind.
Not his friend.
Right.
Never said I liked him.
But then I will say the ending. You pointed out that the endings are different in the book and the movie. The ending in the movie is really satisfying because he is chasing down Chilton to
Mm-hmm.
chow
Mm-hmm.
down, and you hate Chilton, so
Yes. Yes.
there is definitely an element where you're like, do it, freaking eat him up, you know. Yeah, that's pretty dark, actually. I hadn't really considered that, but yes, that's exactly how he is.
I mean, especially when he's just full on colluding, like, yeah, give me the file, show me,
I
tell me.
know.
And like when you know, that feeling, oh, I need to pay attention to every detail.
Yeah,
When he hands the file back to her, I was like, he hid something in
I
there.
thought so
He's
too.
giving her
Yeah,
something, you know?
yeah,
I again, I want to be so far away from saying I'm like team cannibal guy.
right.
Army Hammer excluded. Big fan. No, kidding. But I had not thought about this part until just now. Is there any other actor you think? I mean, Anthony Hopkins was brilliant, and I know
Yeah,
part of that is being opposite Foster, the two of them together, just
yeah,
spectacular.
good
But like,
chemistry. Yeah,
could anyone else have conveyed that? He just did such a brilliant job.
I don't know if anybody else could have, not just because he's a brilliant actor, but because he's not like a drop dead gorgeous dude. You know what I mean? Like that element of your neighbor could be Hannibal Lecter.
Yes.
If it was somebody like Army Hammer, who I'm only using because you just joked about him, and because he's a cannibal,
Okay, let's say it was Brad Pitt.
yeah, you wouldn't be able to get over how good looking he is.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Agreed.
Yeah,
A good point.
yeah.
You know who
And
could have actually?
what are you gonna say? Tim Curry, Ron Perlman.
Tim Curry would. Tim Curry. No, not Ron Perlman. Too good looking. Tim Curry would have been a real good Hannibal Lecter. Let's see what.
Both
Well,
of the
no, I know what
things,
Tim Curry looked at in '91.
both of the
Cardinal
things you just
Richelieu.
said
Oh,
were so wrong.
Ron Perlman's still great looking.
Okay.
He's got that rugged handsomeness. I don't know. He clamps a cigar in his jaw, and you're like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'd cuddle.
He looks like those things from Super Mario that bonk you on the head.
Which I'm also attracted to. So,
Oh, there you
joke's on
go.
you.
Yeah, I
Uno
guess.
reverse card.
Joke's on me. How is the night vision sequence written in the book? Is it in there or is that an
Oh,
addition to the movie?
so good. I think it's better in the book.
Oh, okay. Why?
So good. She comes down there. And I think this part, if I recall correctly, I mean, you've got the alarm bells going right away. No, don't go into the house.
Right.
You're alone. Wait for backup, like the classic, whatever.
Yeah.
But then makes it as far down as getting to the well, seeing Senator's daughter. I don't remember her name.
Oh, yeah.
Down in the well, who again, well documented, my disdain for unfair treatment, starts just like swearing and cursing at her. And she's like, you
She
fucking
is
bitch,
such a
don't
jerk.
leave me down
I know.
here. And Yeah, and Clarice is like, yo, dude, still a serial killer in the house.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to try to get you out right
Hold your
now.
horses. Yeah.
And then she's looking for him and she finds this bathroom and then he kills the lights and she oh so good, so tense. I mean, I had seen the movie,
Yeah.
I know how this ends,
Yeah.
and I'm still like, what if he what if oh but what if it somehow magically ends different now?
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's good
Incredible.
writing.
Phenomenal writing.
Good.
Phenomenal writing.
I'm glad it's in there because that's the moment of the movie that really makes me like, I mean, it's all creepy and awful, but that's the moment where I'm like, holy shit, I don't know if I can finish this
Yeah.
movie.
No, that's the scene that makes you like wake up at 1 a.m. that night to go to
Yeah.
the bathroom and think about just peeing in your bed instead of walking through the
Oh
dark.
my God, you're on a real tear tonight.
Oh, and they even add how like when the what are they called? Skull's head or death's head moths? When the cage gets like disturbed while he's walking around,
Mm,
all of the dust shows up on the knife.
yuck. Gross.
Incredible.
Moths are gross, man.
Incredible. A whole lot of oh, picturing, I mean, he couldn't have picked a better living thing
I
for
know.
that theme.
I
Right.
know,
I
right?
mean, much less the cover art that it
I
gave the
was going to say
movie.
the
Holy
movie's poster is
crap.
so famous.
But I imagine they skipped this for the movie, the whole her going to the Smithsonian and them
Whoa.
going through the taxonomy of how they determined what type of moth they were finding in the mouths.
Yeah, no, that was skipped.
Oh, I mean, it just builds up the drama tenfold,
I'm sure.
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, what'd you rate it on Goodreads?
Yeah, this was
Since
it
I don't
felt so
check.
good to feel real. This was another, again, due to my arguably skewed and flawed system, not a 5. Big old solid 4, but
Right.
this may retroactively have to change. I
Whoa.
can very I can very reasonably see myself returning to this. It
Wow.
may be a full on 5.
Cool.
As I said, like Jurassic Park, on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so mysterious, repulsive, ingenious. Like we talked about, you're trying to solve these questions
Yeah.
alongside Starlink. Just everything you could want in a book, you know?
Yeah. I do know.
Yeah, yeah. I have to imagine similar.
Yes, I gave it a 4.5, a 4.5. I don't I don't know exactly what's keeping me from giving it 5 stars, which makes me think it's probably like discomfort with the subject material and the fact that like
Fair.
I didn't love watching a person bite the nose off of another person, even though it was a huge part of.
Ooh, hold on. That brings up a good question.
Okay.
Very much loved this, but I would not want this to be every book I read.
Okay.
So does that skew the scale? Because calling it a 5 would not mean you want to read it. Calling it a 5 doesn't mean you want to eat someone's nose.
No, but I mean, maybe like it was just uncomfortable to sit in a story about cannibalism.
The
That's
eating of
yeah,
noses.
yeah.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
it's like yeah, like giving it 5 stars almost feels dirty because it's such a fucking nasty story. You
But
know what I
also, to
mean?
be fair, it's absolutely not a story about eating
No,
noses.
I know, and that's I mean that's the brilliance of it is that it's so
Yeah.
uneasy to even like think and talk and relive that I'm like I can't call it perfect, even though it
Like,
kind of
that's just
technically
the
is.
hobby. That is just the hobby of arguably the third most important character.
Right.
You could argue Buffalo Bill is a more important character than Hannibal Lecter,
There's no story without Buffalo Bill.
which is wild because you also kind of don't care about Buffalo Bill. You're
Right.
like, no, go back to them talking.
Right. Right.
Oh,
But
such good writing.
yeah.
Okay,
And
sorry. So 4.5.
yeah. Yeah. I mean it's phenomenal. I don't know what I could say about it that hasn't been said, except that I think I just can't give it a full 5 because the subject matter makes me so uncomfortable, which is kind of a good thing. Like it's a
It
4
should.
like it's like a black mark on the ledger, but it's a black mark that should be there. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yep.
I don't know, kind of weird, kind of fun, I thought. And as far as recommendations, I said true crime fans will love this a lot. Obviously,
Of
there's
course.
it's very much in the DNA of this story, like we talked about, but it's also pretty procedural and believable. All of the story beats, the pacing is fantastic, so it feels like a real crime being solved in the real world. So if you're a fan of movies like Psycho and Seven, Copycat,
Oh my
anything
gosh,
about
Seven.
serial killers, this would be the one for you. But also, if you just need like a spooky, horror Halloween something, this is a good one.
I'd watch this on Halloween, no question.
Yeah, yeah. Who do you recommend it to?
Yeah, this actually feels like probably one of the widest spreads that I've had yet.
Yeah,
I think
similar.
because exactly what you said, of course there are the very graphic, very gory aspects that we've discussed previously kind of take on their own tinge
Yeah,
in text. I think in this case that actually does it a service where actually what we talked about up at the top, Mexican Gothic, that is a deeply unsettling body horror specifically
it
text.
is. Whoa, I didn't know that.
It's tough. It's tough. It gets dark.
Wow.
As we talk about some guy eating a nose, there's an aspect of Silence of the Lambs where I think that cultural identification does it a service. Where if you would normally be more squeamish than this would jive with, you can kind of skirt it.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
again, the book feels very much like Clarice is the story.
Yeah,
And you can, I think in that context, the percentage of absolutely heinous scenes really drops quickly. And
yeah,
you're just part of a good story.
right.
So in that sense, I said it was maybe a little less haunting than the movie definitely is.
Okay.
I would say I would recommend it to most readers. If you even vaguely enjoy thrillers, cop drama esque, it's not the drama side of it, but as you said, very procedural,
Yeah,
very realistic. Even if you're just interested in like what makes up the zeitgeist and the canon of like 20th century culture,
yeah,
I think this is a text that you want to get to.
totally. I totally agree. I think it's had just undeniable influence on at least entertainment culture here in
Yes.
America.
And well deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. Great stuff. I'm glad that we got a good banger in.
Yes. Oh, this felt good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. Up next, we have one that I think is going to be pretty special for Chris. Do you remember what we're doing next?
No, I have no idea what we're doing next.
We're going to do Under the Tuscan Sun
Oh,
by
oh.
by
Join us next week to finally see me cry.
Francis
Oh boy.
Mays, film adaptation directed by Audrey Wells. And I'll have a
Oh.
fun story to share, or maybe I'll let you share it. It's kind of your story. So
I think you get to share it. I
okay.
think you get to. I want to hear the Nate POV on that one
Good.
because I know mine.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe mine is the easier pill to swallow. So anyway, thank you for joining us. We look forward to our next conversation. Please stay away from moths and slaughterhouses and cannibals. Do you have anything to add, Chris?
No, do those things.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.